We've got new grading data out from Gemrate. I'm going to talk about why the current data is largely unimportant. I'm going to talk about the largest opportunity, I believe, for grading companies. And we're going to take a look back, a year back, and take a look at some of that data as well. Stick around. Hello to all my sports card collectors, investors, all of my collectibles friends. It is another day. It is another card video. How is everybody doing? We made it to the weekend. I'm excited. Kind of those last couple weeks of it being hot here before the fall weather hits. And I am ready for it, guys. I am ready for some hot tub time. If you're new here, you're looking for daily sports card content, you have come to the right place. I'm here for you, my friends. Hit the like button if you like what you hear. And also don't forget, please, it would help me so much if you hit that subscribe button so that you are notified every time that there is a new video out, and they are plentiful. Also connect with me on IG where I do reels, pics of some of my recent pickups, try to do some funny things. My kids think that I'm semi-funny, and that is good enough for me. I'm also on the Twitter, the Sports Card Dad. Big thanks to channel partner Card Shop Live. You got to check them out. They are doing a giveaway every other week. It's $50 to two winners, $50 each to two winners. You got to sign up for the app, and I will put all the information in the video description as well as in the comments. I will pin it in the comments as well. Definitely check out Card Shop Live. All right, so Ryan from Gemrate, Gemrate.com, doing the Lord's work out there, coming through with this data. He comes through every month, every week, every day with different data points. It's really, really good stuff, kind of analyzing the grading space. We had him on our show. Brad and I had him on Off-Centered on the Comeback Card Investor channel. A couple weeks ago, we had him on, and he was just kind of going through a variety of different things, what's going on with him. And he does these monthly reports, which are great, and it gives an idea of how many cards the grading companies are grading, the big four, and kind of what they're grading and what are the gem rates, etc. There's just a lot of really good nuggets in there to take from. In the title of the video, it says, this data right now, this current data, it doesn't matter. Why am I saying this? Well, this is kind of like if you've been in sales before, if you've had a sales position, you understand kind of at the end of the month, you have these people that are kind of sandbagging a little bit, the business, and then all of a sudden the new month starts and magically new deals come through. Hey, coffee is for closers.
Let's talk about something important. Are they all here?
All but one.
Well, I'm going anyway. Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
And this is kind of like that. When we look at this data, and it's not PSA's fault, but they have a massive backlog that they are almost done with. But if we look back over the last 12 months, all of this is old business. This is old business that's finally getting completed. And so, yes, is there some new business mixed into these numbers? Yeah, of course there is. But how much of it is there? That's the thing that we don't know. In my opinion, I think it's going to be the October data. So this is the August data. We'll have September data. In November, I think it'll be November 1, November 2, whatever, November 3rd, when Ryan at Gemrate comes out with that October data, the breakdown, I think that is going to be the stuff that is really telling. That's going to give us a real idea because let's face it, SGC, CSG, and Beckett, they don't have a backlog. So everything that you see in this report is current stuff. This isn't old business. It's all the new business. And so if we look at August, we've got PSA at 895,000 cards, CSG with 72,000. That's the sports card arm. CGC is 99,000. And that's, of course, all the TCG stuff. It's the card games. It's the Pokemon, the Magic the Gathering, and that sort of stuff. SGC at 75,000. At Beckett, 41,000. Kind of some speculation around why are Beckett's numbers so low? Beckett did move offices, so that's probably a big part of what that is. I still do think that Beckett is going to be a major player. They might be, I don't know what place. You can put them in whatever place you want, but if you have them in fourth place out of these four companies, I do think that they make a push at some point. I do think that they're investing in infrastructure. They have the Beckett name. And I think that, man, the best thing that they did, and I don't know if this was Dr. Beckett's idea or if whoever bought Beckett, whoever negotiated keeping the Beckett name, that was key, especially as we come to current, as we come to today. Because could you imagine if they had switched this over to Sword and Stone grading or something different, Aladdin grading, whatever? I mean, I don't think that this company really survives it if they don't have the Beckett name. The Beckett name is really so crucial, and there aren't a lot of long-time kind of hobby companies, iconic companies. Beckett, going back to the Beckett publications back in the 80s when it started, that is a big one, so good on them. Whoever's idea that was, keeping Beckett in the name. Quick look at Gemrates for August 2022. So for 2020 stuff, so this is looking at the new stuff, and this is kind of a lot of what the Prism football and, the new release stuff. PSA at 51.9%, BGS at 59.5%, SGC 38.3%, and CSG 29.2%. My goodness, it is tough to get a 10 at CSG. How does this stack up against August 2021 numbers? Let's go back to that. I asked Ryan if he could just send me over a quick snapshot of what was going on August 2021. He has data going back to January 2021 for grading. So it's interesting, and we'll play around with some of these reports. I'm going to work with him on some custom stuff just to talk through some things, because I thought it'd just be kind of fun. Let's look back at August 2021. So if we remember, big boom in sports cards first quarter 2021. Nat Turner is also taking over the company, him and his group taking over the company. That was finalized, January, February. Then we have shutdown either March or April for PSA was shut down. And so then it's just working on the backlog. So this is backlog stuff. And ultra modern basketball really exploded here, dominated in August. Almost 20% of all of their business was 2019 basketball, or ultra modern basketball, I should say, with 2019 basketball being a huge chunk of it. So it was all the Zions and the Jazz. They were flowing through August 2021. They had graded 669,000 cards. Now, the one thing that I don't think is really talked about enough, one is, of course, the old business part. That it's talked about that PSA is a backlog, but it gives the impression when we look at the data, it's like, man, PSA is they're just 10x, all these other companies. But like I said, we're about 2 months out from really getting a full picture. And also pricing will stabilize too, to where I think that every company is going to have a reasonable rate that they feel is good value for their customers against the competition. And I think that brand loyalty is extremely underrated right now. I think that there is so much emphasis on resale. And everybody's going to go with the company with the best resale. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. I think that, people are going to go with who they like for certain cards. For CSG, they've got Marvel cards that they're doing now. CGC grades comics. I can see how the Marvel card folks want to put their Marvel cards with their Marvel comics. That makes sense to me. I'm also a comic book collector, so I get that. Some people are going to like the tux. They're not going to like the tux. They might use SGC for that reason or not for that reason. Who knows? PSA, they might, there's going to be people that love the registry. Hey, I'm a registry person. I'm going with PSA. And then Beckett, they're like, hey man, I love the slabs. The slabs are wicked. They're thick. They've got the inner sleeve in there. It's a good solid slab. I like the Beckett name. I think brand loyalty is going to play a huge part going into the end of this year as we move into 2023. And I do think that what's left after a lot of kind of the quick flippers they have left, I think they will come back for the right cards, for certain cards, etc. But I think what you've got left is a lot of collectors or long-term investors. So it's people just thinking like, hey, I'm okay holding stuff. I'm going to pick the grading company that, I'm not in a huge rush. I don't need to grade this card to sell it in 2 months. I'm okay just waiting for, the company that they like based on whatever card that is. And I think that that's going to really be who wins the day. I don't think it's going to, I think, yes, money matters and resale is going to matter. Absolutely. It doesn't say that goes away. With 4 very competent companies, I think that everybody is in really good shape, frankly. What's the biggest opportunity for grading companies? If you look back at what's the big chunk, what's the big bulk of what PSA has been grading that actually really kind of shocked me, probably only because I don't know that market and I don't play in that market. It's TCG, it's Pokemon, it's Magic the Gathering. It's shocking when you go back and you look at the breakdown, PSA is grading, 700,000 cards, 800,000, 900,000, a million cards. When you look at the amount of those cards, the percentages that are TCG cards, that are Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and Magic the Gathering, it's a high number. It's a tremendously high number. So I know we kind of live in the sports card world. Some of us are also in Pokemon and some of these other things, but I know a lot of people that watch my channel, they don't dabble, they don't do anything in Pokemon or Magic. They don't do any of it, and I don't either. So I think when they're looking at these numbers, the assumption is like, oh man, 1 million sports cards a month. And that's not really what we're talking about here. If you look at just Pokemon cards, between March of 2021 and March of 2022, the Pokemon company printed 9 billion Pokemon cards in 1 year. And you're probably thinking like, oh my gosh, well, how does that compare to other years? Well, the year prior, they printed 3.7 billion cards. So that is a lot more. It's almost 3 times as much, 2.5 times as many cards. And with the demand for Pokemon cards, that probably continues. So if you're a grading company, you're probably looking at, that is an obvious sign of like, wow, we need to be in that space. And PSA kind of shows that with their numbers. They're really probably, I'm assuming they are probably the go-to for TCG Pokemon people. I assume that they are because that's what the numbers show here. So it just kind of speaks to the fact that if you're a grading company trying to kind of make moves, appealing to the Pokemon TCG world would be a good idea. So sorry, sports card peeps, it's not just all about us. There's other moving parts here that are playing a huge role. And I don't know if that's really talked about enough. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's going to be a fun kind of couple of months. We'll get through the backlog for PSA, and then we can see what's really going on. We can see what's really under the hood. Right now, we got some backlog. We got some backlog still sticking, and I want to see what it looks like when that's all gone. Have an amazing rest of your day. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.